Physical and cognitive development in late adulthood. What qualifies somebody as being in a late adulthood? Late adulthood starts at around the age of 65. Sometimes it depends on a person's living habits. Sometimes it starts earlier. It just depends on the person. By 2030, nearly 20% of the world's population will be made up of people above the age of 65, which is a crazy amount. Cognitive abilities changing in late adulthood. As people age, their cognitive abilities slow down. This results in people having slow reaction times and response times. What's really going on up in your brain? Mood swings are very, very prevalent in this time, and me personally, I have a lot of grandparents, and you definitely see that, as time goes on, they don't want to deal with, the little stuff, and they just want to move on. I've also noticed a lot of dementia, which is memory loss, and that does happen a lot, and it's very, very normal, and that's really sad, because you don't want your grandparents to forget, like your childhood, or forget somebody that they've lost, or Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is huge. Their intellectual needs change, so they need a lot more care and love. Physical changes in late adulthood. In the 20s, people are more likely to be at their top physical, or peak physical strength and appearance, but this gradually declines as years go by. As people age, they lose muscle mass, bone strength, and most of the time people's skin actually dries out. And as you can see in this picture, you can see that the skin is wrinkly and their eyes are completely different. And you can see as their hair changes. A lot of people, do go through some things that they hate their appearance when they get older because their hair's turning gray. Nobody wants to be old. They want to be young forever. Theories on late adulthood. The first theory that I thought was weird, but it's out there. It's the disengagement theory. Over time, people will withdraw from society and become independent, relieving any stressful or difficult social responsibilities. I do see this a lot, and one of my grandparents, my grandpa, he definitely, he doesn't come and, visit us as often, and he doesn't really, go out all that often, but, he does, and he goes and sees, family, and friends, but it's not as often as it used to be. The activity theory. This believes that people approaching late adulthood should work out and stay active to maintain their overall quality of life. A lot of people have heard, if you work out as you get older, or even do water aerobics, which is actually really healthy for everyone, not just older people. But it does help metabolism and just your overall quality of life. Widowness and facing death. Losing a husband or wife, as obviously at the age of 65, a lot of people are passing away around that time, and it's not very, a lot of the time women are actually left. Normally the husband dies, and the woman usually live around 3 to 5 years after, and it's a really hard time to go through. You're feeling lost, and you're sad all the time, and you don't really have anyone else around because your kids are moved out with their own families, and you're kind of alone. As a person aging and going through that doesn't have much life left in them, they go through a lot of denial. They don't want to die. They get mad because they don't want to. Bargaining, they go to God, and they find these little ways. Depression, they get sad because who wants to die? They want to keep living because they don't know. Some people don't know what's after life. They don't know if God's real, and obviously I believe in God, but a lot of people do struggle with that, and so it's really hard. Where do I go? And then eventually, hopefully, most of the time, people will reach that acceptance. but it is very hard and it takes a lot of time from what I was reading. And these are my sites.